the recent rise of the use of internet in today's world, there comes the issue of ranking the relevant result for the users. Relevance is an ambiguous term. What is relevant for one group of people might not be relevant for another. What other factor affects the search engine ranking is the intention to generate revenue from it. So, search engines earn mainly from advertisements as a main source of income. Because of that, it might be a factor that commercial interest, that is commerciality, is a major factor in the search engine ranking of the results. In this thesis, I pondered upon the effect of commerciality in search engine ranking and hence develop a relevant schema and based on that schema develop a classifier or three classifiers to see how well that schema works. Moving on, so first part of my thesis was based on defining the schema properly. There are multiple indicators which can define commerciality. So for the purpose of this thesis, I have recognized these indicators as the factors affecting commerciality, which range from intention of no profit, it can be donation, so revenue generation but no profit intention, to complete profit generation intention. So in the non-commercial classes, that is class 1, there fall government websites, schools, libraries, etc. Second level commercial intention is paid advertisement or ads, or in a shorter way, indirect selling. Third is paid services. So paid services contains products as well as consulting services, banking services, etc. So based on that, there are three levels of indicators and hence three classes. So class 1, class 2, class 3. Class 1 is completely non-commercial. One interesting point that came to my attention is class 1 elements are very dominating. If, for example, if a zoo website asks you for a donation, they are asking for money. But are they going to use the money in a profit generating way? No. That's why class 1 elements can cancel out class 3 and class 2 elements. Similarly, there are some commercial websites which also display advertisement. But does that make them class 2 websites? No. That's why class 3 elements, so intention to sell directly or generate profit, cancels out the advertisement and indirect effects. How I proceeded with my classifier is based on two methods. One was the visual cues and the other was what's within the website. Coming to the visual cues, first was just classifying the websites in their respective classes and giving that to a CNN classifier which does the work on its own, and we see how that worked out. It gave a accuracy of 65.21%, which is not too bad for no indicators, but it's not very promising either. Hence comes the object detection method. Object detection method takes into consideration the objects, the commercial elements described here as the objects, and tries to find a pattern in the positioning and the appearance of the commercial indicators. It worked not so well due to the size of limited data, but it is possible to work further with this method if there is a more clear structure defined. It works very well with detecting advertisements because generally advertisements have a small blue box, or it's written somewhere that it's an ad, or generally are rectangular or square. Third was HTML based, which downloads the source code of the websites. All the websites used here, or all the data sets, are of the same websites. So HTML based uses the links and the URLs mentioned in the source code as the indicators, because an advertisement is in the website a link, and similarly URLs as well. If there is a URL with .edu at the end, it is an educational website likely, and if there are any spam or like advertisements mentioned, it is also possible that there are indicators such as Google Ad Services or something like search engine optimization mentioned. Hence, HTML based was a very promising method and it worked best of all the three approaches with an accuracy of 72.29%. What all of this tells us is that CNN is based on positioning and formatting and overall formatting and positioning. It can't differentiate well between the completely non-commercial and the lightly commercial websites. Object detection needs a vaster data set and works decently if there's a defined structure. HTML based works well, as mentioned before. For the data set, one more thing I would like to mention is I used 26 queries for overall data set and test queries which were extracted using the RAD software. And what results can we gather from this research is that commerciality is a factor that affects the ranking, but commerciality on its own doesn't. Example can be there are some websites which come the later pages of the search engine, which are just commercial websites which only sell, but they still don't rank on the top because what other factors affect are popularity, freshness, location, etc. What it also confirms is that not displays the relevant and important results. None of the Wikipedia results were displaced by more commercial results only because they were commercial. There were other factors affecting that as well. So this topic can be further researched on using the source code method, which gives us more information. Although it said an image speaks 1,000 words, here the source of the image speaks more than that. So that's it. Thank you.